Hi, welcome back. I'm Susan B Lochocki, presidential candidate write-in, and this is my Matters studio, and this is part 2 of Talk Tuesday this week on religion. So I went over quite a bit in the first one, and now I want to go over the fact that, I don't know if some of you know this, but Thomas Jefferson had a Quran. And a lot of our founding fathers who were Masons, they had those. Because the Masons believe also in multiple religions, in finding wisdom from them all. I'm going to say that they were probably some of them, Unitarian or Universalists, or both. I don't know. So I just want to put that out there. So now we come to some of our issues. Currently, we have a lot of people concerned about prayer in school. I've already stated that I don't have a problem with prayer in school, but I don't think it should be institutionalized, and certainly not in the public school system. So what I think is a good solution that doesn't pick any favorable religion over another is to have a moment of silence. Now, a moment of silence can be up to 5 minutes long, and different people in the room can do different things. The kids can, use that moment to just be silent, or to think about something good, or to pray if that's what they do, or meditate. And so I think personally a moment of silence at school in the morning is actually probably a good thing, because usually the kids come in and they're all chatting, and to bring them down to that moment, that quietness, I think it could help. It could help to get them centered and balanced and ready to go forward with their day. So I think a moment of silence is a good thing, but it's not a prayer time, and it's not a group prayer. It's individual, because as we know, religion is personal, not institutional. And so moment of silence, I'm good with. The Pledge of Allegiance, that's come up too. And I had to say it when I was going to school, when I was a child. And it didn't bother me. But, as I was preparing for this, I realized that these are children. They're too young to pledge allegiance to anything. It's not until they're 18 that they're old enough to do that. When they become an adult in the eyes of the United States. So I think maybe what we might want to do is have the town halls host a Pledge of Allegiance party where they have all the 18-year-olds for that year come and pledge their allegiance to the United States. It could be a good time. Everybody could dress up in tuxes and fancy dresses and something like that. I don't know. But I think, it would be good to see our young people pledging their allegiance and make it an official ceremony. Yeah. Well, I think we're moving well forward. One thing I can say that I've noticed is we have a lot of people concerned about abortion and gay and lesbian rights and pot and smoking and alcohol and all sorts of things. So currently in the United States, alcohol is available, which is good. It has to be, because it's part of the Catholic services. You know, there's wine at the services. So wine certainly has to be available. It can't, can't be illegal. I mean, we anyways had that once and it didn't go over so well. So alcohol is clearly needed to be available for religious purposes. But perhaps what you don't know is that marijuana is also used in some religious services. And mushrooms, the hallucinogenic mushrooms, are also. So by having these things be illegal, we're actually prohibiting people from practicing their religion properly. So we need to legalize some of these drugs. I mean, I anyways think that we should legalize most drugs and get them under control a bit better, because this war on drugs that we have is not working. But certainly ones that are used in religious practices, we cannot forbid them. Otherwise, we're forbidding freedom of religion. So with that said, in some religions, abortion is legal. And also for the non-religious, it's legal. So abortion is also something that has to remain the way it is. And, I know a lot of you have problems with late-term abortion. But I already talked about abortion a couple of weeks ago. And like I said, no woman is going to go through 9 months of pregnancy just to abort a baby because she doesn't want it. So there's going to be a medical reason why, and then the child might have to be aborted. With that said, recently there was a story of a child who was about 4 years old, who was out somewhere in the world, not in the United States, but somewhere else, and his mother and sister were killed, and he was left alone with them. I believe he was in the desert, and he was walking along and surviving his time and getting to safety all by himself at the age of 4. So for me, I guess somewhere around the age of 4 is when a child is quite developed enough to sort of take care of themselves a little bit. I mean, they are quite capable, they're just not big. They have to grow a lot. But I just wanted to put that out there, that there's, quite a bit of intelligence already in a child at the age of 4. So gay and lesbian, the LGBTQIA group, they fall into their own sort of category as well as religions, and I'm not sure how they all fit into the religion area. That's up to the different religions. But as far as the U.S. government goes, they have a right to their beliefs and their way of life, because that's called freedom of expression. One thing that you should know too about the Pledge of Allegiance, the words "under God" were added fairly recently in 1956. And they were added to make a differentiation between the United States, which wanted to present itself as a God-fearing or God-loving country, and the atheists of the Soviet Union. So the original Pledge of Allegiance never mentioned God. This was something new that was added. Then we also have on our money, "In God we trust," which, you know, for all the atheists and non-believers out there, or people whose religion doesn't revolve around a God but around a way of life, they also don't believe in God. So, yeah, we might have to think about a different wording for that. Now, for me, I think one thing that we all have in common, religion, people who believe in Christianity, people who believe in Islam, people who believe in Buddhism, Hinduism, Unitarian Universalists, and even atheists, we all believe in good. And that's one of my phrases. In good, I trust. And I do trust in good. And I believe that you probably do too, in good trust. So I think that this might be a good way to rewrite that phrase to help us move from this somehow partial religion in government to breaking away from it. Because a lot of people don't believe in God. So I guess that's a little bit where I am right now. Of course, I would love to hear what you have to say. You know, freedom of religion. It's a personal thing, not an institutional thing. And it's time to update, I think, a little bit our documents and some of the things that we've lived with over the years. All right. So I think I got that done in 2. I thought this was going to go on forever. Well, I'm glad it was a short one. What can I say? Thanks for stopping by. I'm Susan B Lochocki, running for President of the United States as a write-in. You can write me in many states. On Saturday, I'll give you all the details. I am, to do it, you have to circle in the little dot next to the area for write-in names. And then you put Susan B Lochocki, and you spell Lochocki, Lochocki, for president. And then my address is 375 South End Avenue, New York, 10280. Okay, so there we go. I wish you a wonderful evening. Thanks for stopping by.